Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. Tony, am I in a good position, cone-wise, for speaking?
Looks fine.
I'm talking audio-wise because my ears do not work.
I want to bring it a little closer.
A little closer?
That should be fine.
How's that? Pretty good?
That's more comfortable.
Yeah.
Hello, friend. Comfortable for you?
Yeah. Oh, that was awful. I'm sorry.
How is everybody doing this fine evening?
Good. All right. Yeah. Fine.
Good, all
Next
right,
question.
fine.
Next question.
Next question. So, we got a lot to talk about, guys. First things first, Blood Bowl playoffs stream ahead. I'm so sorry, Bradley.
Yeah, it's okay.
We,
Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. You know?
Yeah.
Or the Amazon in this case.
Yeah. No, they crumbled very fast.
Was he rolling like insane armor breaks or just like was he just popping eights?
I'll put it to you this way. You got 2 stunts. I'll put it to you that way. You got 2 stunts.
Congratulations, John, on your semifinal victory, heading to the finals to face Jakey or Dakota.
Indeed.
You guys are still on for Friday night.
Yes.
My name is Jeff.
I just wanna murder some elves, and then some
Skaven,
mouse
apparently.
elves.
Some mouse elves.
Well, the entire league
Cheese elves.
is definitely rooting against you.
Oh yeah, I mean the world roots against me.
I guess everyone's rooting for John.
And
anyway,
then
so
now
it's-
that John is available, everybody is rooting for John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be great to see a new champion crowned. That is for sure.
I think though, like everyone should be in agreement that Jakey is like the worst possible outcome here.
Yeah, I don't want Jakey to win.
Yeah.
Maybe I am rooting for you in this. I don't want to see anyone in my division win.
It's hard. It can be hard to root for the person that beat you, but sometimes it can
That's
also.
the best outcome, really.
But
if it's not you, it better be the guy that beat you,
yeah,
right?
Either that or
Yes, it's fair.
exactly.
I guess that is fair.
That's just kind of how it is typically in sports,
Yeah.
right? Like you,
Can you turn me down a little? Or do you not? Have
I'm
that
gonna
option?
say yes, but there's no way of
Oh,
actually making that a reality.
okay.
Someday.
Or Tony, can you just tune my audio down just a hair?
I can turn
The,
everybody's down.
Yeah, hang on.
The 4,
Is he plugged into the front or the back?
I don't know.
3 out of
I
3
feel
out
like
of
there's
4 of
only
the players
one into the front
in the
now.
semifinals
That's possible.
are division.
Yeah.
John, Jakey, me.
Is that better?
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Is that better?
Yeah, much
Okay.
quieter. Thank you.
I don't
probably
think that's
fair.
how that song goes. But, okay.
John Jakey.
Yeah, his name is my name too, frankly. Well, guys, I'm gonna be building a new table.
Are officially
Uh,
gone are the days of the trapezoid.
And I always thought the
Pretty
trapezoid was
much.
the strongest shape found in nature.
yeah, that's fair. I like it, but like we have a lot of wasted space.
Can you tell me where the trapezoid is found in nature?
Have you ever seen a tree? This is tree.
Yeah.
It's the transitive property, right?
Yeah, a
What
tree
once
trunk
was
is a tree trunk is very trapezoidal.
It is not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it is. It is.
Why?
It perhaps
It's
may be
flat.
how you draw one, but it is very much not that.
The
Oh,
rocket,
well, like
rocket ship,
a plateau?
rocket ship is made out of is start from a trapezoid.
Like a plateau, like in nature. That's
yeah, kind of. Yeah, you can find like I get what you're saying, like out in the desert.
I'm gonna say we got people in the room, but nobody's chatting yet. But hello, John.
Hola,
Nice to see
senor.
the Nikes. So apparently, I turned something off, John.
Yeah, somebody deleted the input. Oh, wow. This mic got turned way up. Somebody deleted the mic input. We'll have to figure out how to re-add it. But so what you were listening to was the camera,
Audio.
Which camera? The Brio?
probably.
Had to have been, right?
It could have been any of the webcams.
That's an inhaler.
What?
Brio. That's an inhaler.
That's a
It's
camera,
also
bro.
a
I'm
kind
looking
of
at it.
cheese.
No, that's brie.
So, yeah,
Brioche.
new.
It's kind of bread.
Oh, okay.
Kind of bread.
I got to see
Thanks,
2 car
crochet.
accidents on Saturday.
That's terrifying. Why did
Well,
that
they were
happen?
both low speed accidents, but I saw 2 in one day.
Where were they at?
One was at El Chaps and one was out at Kate and Courtney's house.
I was just about to ask, why did you hit 2 people?
Where
in your car?
exact? It was at El Chaps?
Yeah.
Like at the restaurant?
Yeah, a woman was in a parking spot and there's a woman behind her waiting for something. Backed right into her.
Oh.
Literally never even looked.
Because on Saturday, Mari's brother got hit by some old lady out that way, too. On Church and...
Oh, wow.
And one of the cross streets. I don't remember the name of the cross street. Not Mommy, but before Mommy. So, yeah. I think it was Saturday. It was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday because I think I worked that day.
How the hell did I turn that input off? That's really annoying.
I don't think it was you.
I don't know.
Okay, so did you guys see the article on Warhammer Community about the old world?
Old no.
The other day?
Yeah.
Are they...
They showed plastic bits for Bretonians and Tomb Kings.
I did see that. I don't know if I saw
know
the
that.
Tomb Kings.
I did not.
Yeah. So there's speculation that at Adepticon we're gonna see the first models for the old world.
You know, it's really important we talk about Adepticon, which I believe is next week. Yeah, so the reveals are 8 days away. So
Are they next week?
yeah, is anybody able to can you guys do a show next Wednesday? Next Wednesday at 11 o'clock.
Next Wednesday?
At night?
Yep.
TBD, but at 11 o'clock maybe.
Yeah, so
It's all gonna depend on if I work Thursday and when I.
What
work
it'll be
Thursday.
it'll be so it's Wednesday the 22nd at 11 p.m. for us. Tony, are you available for that?
What day?
Next Wednesday
At 11
at
p.m.?
11 p.m.
Like in lieu of Tuesday?
No. Like this, we would just do like a live react show for the reveals. Because I think we got to talk about this, but there's a chance
11 a.m. or p.m.?
p.m.
PM.
p.m. Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Looks like it. I don't work in the morning on Thursday, so yeah.
So Tony's in at least.
I should be able to. I don't think I'll have.
So
to on Thursday.
there's Kill Team,
I can't make any promises.
Sigmar, 40K, Underworlds, and Horse Heresy.
Distinct lack of Blood Bowl, and it makes me sad.
There is, but there's a legitimate chance that 10th edition gets announced next week.
Sure.
Now, I've heard some good counterpoints that there's other things going on at the show, at the reveal. So that might mean it's not. But 8th edition was announced at Adepticon.
Yeah. I think
And
what's it,
I
9th
believe
edition as well?
No, Adepticon was canceled that year.
Yeah.
Right, but they
Ninth
did
edition-
like, hey guys, these are the
They didn't
Adepticon
announce it
reveals.
Yeah, but they didn't announce it until May.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
it
guys
was a
wanna-
Saturday, May release.
Wait,
You guys
what
wanna
is
discuss-
Adepticon?
Go home, John.
He's probably watching
Oh.
from home.
I bet he's at work, but
I misread that as what application?
that's John. That's JD, right?
Yeah.
That is.
Okay.
That is.
John DeLorean.
Do you guys think we would have more viewers if you or all of us were in bikinis?
Absolutely. Although-
Tex was on the stream earlier, by the way. What is up, Eliza? Welcome
But
to the
yeah,
show. I disagree
says
with you.
no.
That is, for me, that is one.
I told you he wasn't at home. Go home, John.
Go home and just quit your job.
He's doing the TW.
Or if you leave quietly, like that, you probably don't even have to quit. Full frontal.
You could
nude.
be like Matt and just sleep.
We could be full frontal nude and you would never know it. I have no pants on.
I never wear pants.
I haven't worn pants a single episode.
I mean, we literally had under the table on camera one week, but
That's fair. We were all dangling.
That's when we were doing our OnlyFans.
you weren't wearing
No
pants.
one was looking at our,
I was wearing
at our
shorts?
trousers. Everyone was
fair.
looking at the toes.
Trousers. You guys want to talk about this the Tyranid Space Marine teaser?
Well,
Yeah.
we can jump into that. There's a lot to talk about. I'm telling you, like I think it's coming.
What was the initial starter box rumor? Was it Dark Angels or Blood Angels?
Originally, I
versus
heard Blood Angels, and then it got changed to Dark Angels.
Yeah, but
'Cause-
that's pretty clearly an ultramarine.
Ultramarine, right? Because of the white helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that was
like
my
if
thoughts
you
exactly.
look real hard, you can see the horseshoe emblem
Ultramar.
on the shoulder.
It's
Pretty difficult. I mean, looking at it on an image as small as your phone might also have an impact.
No, it definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I can't make that out. But
the white helmet and like
The white helmet's a dead
Yeah.
giveaway.
Got to talk about. We will talk, Eli, about Brad's playoff game a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. What's he asking about?
He just said he wants to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about
I know.
it. It was very disappointing.
Well, I mean, listen, we all got some semifinal heartbreak. Some of us more than
Absolutely.
others.
Absolutely.
The play-in game, Adams turned 16 one-turner. That was heartbreaking for Jake Campbell. That's brutal. That's a brutal way to lose a game.
he lost on
He lost
one
to
turn.
one turn?
On turn 16.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Adam had a sprinter gutter runner.
I toasted that dude before our game. before turn 16.
Dude, I have not seen enough one turns.
Eli, dice, man. Like, it was John, John made the plays he needed to make, but, like, the ball, it just bounced. It just bounced his way, man. Like,
Listen, not to sound vindictive.
the witch pregnant lady fell down the stairs. I don't know.
Can we get the
Not to
yeah.
sound vindictive, but I don't think he needed to make the plays he needed to make. I think he made wrong plays and just still won. And I think that's what breaks my heart so much. He made a lot of mistakes in that game. A lot of mistakes. And, like, the 6 turnovers I had in the first half, there's the
Oh, I've been there. I have been there.
The 3 casualties he had on me and the 6 KOs he had on me. Like, my dugout was full.
Sounds
at the
like
end
you're
of the
playing
game.
elves. 6 turnovers.
what's his team
6
value?
removals.
Huh?
What's his team value?
13-10.
Oh, okay.
He had 2 mercenaries. One of them had tackle. The only guy with tackle on his team, by the way, against an entire team with dodge. He had 1 guy with tackle and 9 removals.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave the other one wrestle.
Gave it what?
Wrestle.
Did that come into play?
Not at all.
He never wrestled you? I thought he wrestled
Not
you
at
one
all.
time.
Not at all. The tackle, I think, came into play once. But, yeah, he had almost every single time he broke armor, got a removal. So, yeah, it was rough. Killed a player.
Mm-hmm.
One of my players just died. Thank God it was just a lineman with nothing.
Are you gonna redraft that team
I don't know. Either that or my corn. Are you redrafting your corn team?
if I win this league?
Okay. So if you don't win, you're not going to redraft your corn team?
And I don't know that guaranteed.
Okay. All right.
What else would you draft?
I might take like an elf team into the blitz league, or depending on how that functions.
Okay. Yeah, so I might redraft. I got a corn team that I've never redrafted, so
Mm-hmm.
I might just redraft them.
Corn is a pretty good
I might play
solid
Black Orcs in
option
the.
for what I do.
I
Yeah,
might
I
play
got
Black Orcs
I
in
got a
the,
couple players with Black Claw,
Blitz
Mighty
League.
Blow that I could redraft. I've got a Sacker that I could redraft. I got a Ball Carrier I can redraft. So I got some options. I'll have to debate whether or not I want to redraft my Blood Spawn or not, but
I can guarantee I won't be.
yeah. Well, that one's really good. That he's got. Let's see off the top of my head. He's got Tentacles, Juggernaut, Guard, and I think that's it. I think he's got Tentacle, Juggernaut, Guard.
My Bloodspawn has been monumentally disappointing.
Nah, it's not been my. experience
Mine
with
like
Blood
he
Spawn,
would
but
he was
Sometimes
turned
it
over
happens.
more times than he's plowed.
yeah, that's upsetting. the loner really sucks on him.
Oh god.
You really like with that. The first thing, either you start with that sucker and you give him block as fast as you can, or you give that guy.
I mean,
Juggernaut
at this
That was
point,
my experience with the Yeti when I played him.
yeah.
That thing did nothing for me.
at this point, like
The-
he wouldn't even have 6 SPP.
What nega trait does the Yeti have?
That was my
Unchanneled
that was
figure.
my life with a troll. That thing never did anything.
Yeah.
Jake killed it as it was gonna get guard, like dead.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's just
that might have made the difference against Campbell. You never know.
Yeah.
That Orc team was stacked, man.
But yeah. Well, if you don't redraft your corn team, then I'll redraft my corn team. I think. Because then I don't like.
Which elf team has claw?
None of them have claw.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
So he's gonna redraft his corn team then. Okay, never mind. What elf team did you want to redraft?
I
Or did you
wouldn't.
wanna
I wouldn't
play?
be redrafting. I'd
Well,
play,
I mean, you'd be
I'd play Dark Elves.
I think I would play Dark Elves too.
I think Dark Elves are, in my opinion, I think far and away the best elf team.
I think I agree with you.
I don't know about far and away. I think they're all pretty mediocre, but like
I think the Blitzers. So they have 4 players with block on their team that are movement 7. I think that's incredibly important. The linemen are armor 9. I think that's also pretty important.
it can come into play. It can.
Yeah. And
Last
then,
time you played Dark Elves, it didn't matter.
well, you're playing against six dwarven guard on top of that was my bomb dwarf team. That's where I had my troll slayers with frenzy or not frenzy, but mighty blow, and that team was boss. But
Chaos Dwarves I want them so bad.
I don't like chaos dwarves.
Brad got Blood Bowl today for sure. Skaven
it
opened
was-
up a
it
lot
was
of
bad.
opportunities.
Yeah, any opportunity they can really capitalize. Like
Skaven?
yeah,
Yeah, it's-
inconvenient turnover. Like it can turn the tide of the.
Well,
whole
it's not even. I think it's the movement 9. I think that's
Well,
the,
but
I
that's
think,
why they're able to keep take advantage.
Honestly, I think those gutter runners at movement 9. I think they're way too cheap.
Does he
Did
run a
we
red
do
over?
it? Did we
Huh?
save
No.
Does he
the
run a
day?
red
No.
over? No.
No, but like so.
A lot of what I see is you don't bring the Red Ogre.
Yeah, I don't think you'd bring the red ogre either now.
Is he 160 or 140?
I think he's 150. Might be 150 or
I honestly
140.
know.
Comes with frenzy and prehensile tail. He's not a bad big guy. It's just
Arguably he's one of the best big guys.
it's the animal savagery that's the problem.
I think his biggest problem is being on that team. The rest of the team is super cheap, right? So now you got this expensive guy that's not really that durable.
Well, I'm
right?
just gonna throw this out there. You don't run the rat ogre. You just save your money, and then when you're inevitably you have a lower team value, you murk a big guy. If you want a big guy, that's what you do. It's just better. It might even be cheaper depending on what you do. So I know the merc big guy is 135. It's 20,000 to give him frenzy and prehensile tail, and it's basically 20,000 turn him into rat ogre. So he's 5K more than a rat ogre. You're still gonna have loner, so that doesn't matter. Mighty blow, all the stuff. You'll be slower. Your movement's slower. So instead of 5 movement, you're 4 movement. That's the only downside. But you have access to a slew of other things too that you don't really have access to as with the rat ogre. So yeah, I don't think you run the rat ogre either. But
I think you need to give the team some teeth. I think Rat Ogre is a really good way to do that.
yeah, maybe.
You give it some what?
Teeth. Something you need some punch.
I don't
The
know, man.
problem-
I don't think it can.
Also, I have a
140 says Eli.
I have a
It's
gross
cheaper than what I thought.
obsession with frenzy.
I think Frenzy's Frenzy's an underrated skill. It's one of the things that makes that Troll Slayer one of the best positionals in the game.
I played a game against Chaos Dwarfs a couple days ago, and I surfed 2 downed players because of frenzy.
Yeah.
How many games of Blood Bowl do you play a week?
Not a lot right now, but I don't know, 4 or 5.
How many would you like to play a week?
A lot more.
A lot more than 5?
A lot more.
More than 1 game a day.
Yeah.
Man.
That's too much Blood Bowl.
If I
can't.
could get away with streaming it, I would do it.
Oh, like trying to make a living off of it?
No, I don't think I could play enough to make a living off of it. I don't think I can mentally handle that much.
Well, I don't think Blood Bowl's
What is it about Blood Bowl that you love so much?
the tactics and
The strategy
weighing
behind
probability. Like
So you like the autistic math side, like the
no, I mean having to formulate a turn from beginning to end. It's like you solve a new puzzle every turn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, the problem I have with die roll or with the problem I have
Wait,
with
hang on.
Blood Bowl
Let me
is the
guess.
die
Is it the die rolls?
Yeah, it's die rolls. Yeah. That's my issue. Is the huge variability in the probability. That's my issue. So, I mean, we've talked probability on Blood Bowl a lot, but like, you don't roll enough dice in a single game to Blood Bowl to secure a solid average. So it doesn't because we were talking about the two die roll versus the 1 die with the reroll probability, and we came to the conclusion that mathematically it's the same, But when you look at it statistically, it's not even close.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the differences in the math between a die roll with a reroll and a 2-die roll. Like statistically, they're different.
They're not though, but we don't have to go down this.
They are.
No, they're identical.
Okay, well, what's the margin of error versus the two?
What?
And you're gonna tell me they're different?
No,
Or the same?
I don't know what the question is.
You don't know what a margin of error is?
I guess not in this.
Yeah, so the margin of
five, or I mean,
if it's 5, that's really bad on a single D6.
What's your
the
like I said, I have no idea what question you're trying to ask me right now.
Yeah, I understand. It's basically the difference the differences in integers based on another percentage, right?
Okay.
So like if your margin of error is 20%, that's very bad.
So what are you defining as an error?
Not hitting the statistical marker.
So you can't ask the question without telling me what the marker is.
What do you mean?
Like what you asked me what the margin of error between the two, but it's like what's my target number? What am I?
I understand that. All I'm saying is you're looking at playing one game after work most days, 2 to 3 games.
Congratulations on the win, John.
But yeah, so no, it's so that's the difference right there. You have a much larger margin of error on a 1 die with a reroll than you do on a.
It's a lot of Blood Bowl, man.
2d6.
What? That is a lot of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, Blood Bowl 53 just. Blood Bowl 3 is a rough game.
I think if I played 2 games in a day, I would probably want to gouge my eyes out.
Wow.
It just,
yeah, I need a solid break, but yeah.
I like it. I just there's no way that I'm even in the same stratosphere as you. Like I don't.
No, I want to play more 40K. That's what I want to play.
I like
40K
man.
burns me out really fast.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and the thing, one of the chief reasons I like 40K more is when it comes to those statistical die averages, you roll like hundreds of dice in a single game of 40K. Mm-hmm. So you get a much more solid average in a game of 40K than you will ever will in Blood Bowl, like hands down.
I don't feel like 40K is as strategic. I don't think skill plays into 40K as much as Blood Bowl.
See, I disagree. I think it's a lot of this. I think it's a lot of the same.
I think
if not.
Luck plays a much bigger role in Blood Bowl than 40K does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like because of the weight.
How can you have
averages.
both then?
What do you mean?
Like how can it be more luck based and more skill based?
Like I mean, because you can just walk forward and be like, hey, I roll like 807 dice with this unit, so like that one over there just died. Okay.
Well, right, but you said that Blood Bowl is more skill intensive and more luck based. Like,
well,
I'm asking how can it have both?
So luck can have a larger effect on Blood Bowl. Well, I mean, I don't want to say because it can affect both games.
Luck has a larger effect on Blood Bowl than it does 40K.
I think Blood Bowl is designed for luck to matter more.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I think like it's meant to have that wacky stuff happen.
Yeah,
but you can see the stark difference between like a well executed play and someone just rolling block dice.
What do you
Can
mean?
you?
Well, I mean, like I'm not trying to brag, but like that play I made in my game against Nathan, where I had to make dodges into tackle zones and then set up a 1-die blitz to chain push my blood spawn onto the ball.
Sure,
Right,
I
but
did.
then didn't you get a
people-
1-die POW too?
Well, yeah.
Like that's luck.
Well,
isn't it?
so he had frenzy, so the first die was a push.
Sure,
the second die was a POW.
I did the same thing against John today. Like I had to move some players around. I had to throw a 2-die block on this one guy, knock him down, so I could throw a 1-die block here, get him out of the way, and then run up 7 spaces.
John, there's no
9
reason
spaces.
you're playing a 5-hour game of 40K.
And
There's no reason that's happening.
yeah, no kidding.
Unless that's what you want.
We play tournaments in like less amount of time.
I haven't finished a game of 9th edition in less than like 4 hours. In
Really?
a long time. Yeah.
We didn't play for 4 hours
We-
the first 2 times.
Yeah, when we played that Dark Angel Necron game.
Yeah.
that was about like 3 or 4 hours.
Was it?
Yeah,
It
and
didn't feel like it
we
was
didn't
that
play
long.
5 turns.
No, I know.
So like, yeah. I mean,
I think part
no,
of that's
a
the
lot-
stratagems. I think if there were fewer stratagems, I think that would help.
I think a big part of it is that like we're also friends and we talk about other stuff and we aren't
Yeah.
just playing.
Well, right.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
then the other part is it's not like we played weekly at the time.
yeah.
So,
well, that's that's
Yeah,
fair
I think
too.
frequency of playing more often, understanding your codex.
I had to reference my codex a bunch.
Oh,
yeah,
for
well,
sure.
because a
I
lot
mean,
of stuff changed too.
Yeah.
So,
And that
like,
was
that's-
after,
I mean,
was
when's the last
after-
time you played a game of 40K? 6 months ago.
Probably,
Yeah,
I mean,
at
I'm
least.
probably in the same boat, other than the Apocalypse game.
which was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah,
But,
it's a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot of painting done.
Yeah, I think 40K. Like, I think when you
Painted
factor,
like 40 some models.
I
in the
think
last couple weeks.
I think when you factor out the list building, I think it's a much more skill intensive game. I think it's a much more strategic game.
I think list building's too important in 40K.
I think so too. But it's
I think that's where most of the separation between a good and bad player is.
I would agree.
Is
Like,
making the list.
I agree with that a little bit too. But you run into the same thing when you talk about Blood Bowl. And
We knew what you
skills.
meant, John.
Yeah, sure.
So,
like
like,
skill allocation.
Yeah, skill allocation and just stuff like that. So like it's got that same element, and there's also an element to list building in Blood Bowl 2, not having too many players on your team, not having too many rerolls, like being
Yeah,
able to
but-
trim
but
all that
once-
fat.
once
too.
you hit a
so
certain-
it's very similar. In that
Once you
regard.
hit a certain skill threshold in Blood Bowl, which is not very high. Like you
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
have to have an enormous understanding of the game to know like, well, I probably shouldn't have 5 cheerleaders on my team.
Well,
Like-
sure, but
like
how
that-
many?
That's not a good thing.
That
Like,
becomes very self-evident.
yeah,
very
and
early.
like and things like that where you're just like, oh, okay, well, block is a really good skill, and there's like the basic foundational stuff that
Yeah.
you weed out of like the list building part. For a lot of teams, there's not a ton of like variance, not like an enormous amount.
Yeah,
of
I get it. You
variance.
build, but it's the same thing in 40K. Like there's not a lot of
I've never seen Jason play the same list twice. It's crazy. The guy like always has new stuff.
Well, I mean, on Jason, isn't that a good thing though?
No. Yeah, that is a good thing. But I'm
Yeah.
saying like,
Well, he said a lot that he
I'm
uses
saying-
local tournaments to test
yeah,
stuff.
and what
And
I'm
you
saying
won't-
is
you
that,
won't
is
see
that
any of that in Blood Bowl.
the list building is where the skill comes in. Like it's hard to hand a really shitty list to a very good player and expect great things out of them.
That's fair, but you could
Is that
say
a weakness in the game?
I would say so.
You could say the same thing though about handing a really shitty player a really great list and then expect great things.
Well, sure,
Like
because some of like the really good lists, there's so many layers to them.
There's
and, like,
nuances and
things need to
actual
be combined well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
You're-
actual
you're-
skills and decisions that you actually be able to make on the tabletop. Yeah, absolutely.
you're
And-
right.
And I think that's where a lot of the
Because
stuff
there's
comes
a
into
ton
play.
of times where like I'll be reading a list on Bell of Lost Souls,
and you're like, this is terrible.
I'm
How
like,
does
I'm
this
like, what the
win?
hell is this? How did this win anything? And then
Yeah.
like I have to read the breakdown of like what the concepts of the list are.
What
And,
it's
like it
trying
starts to
to
make more
accomplish.
sense.
Exactly, and I think that nuance to 40K is another thing that makes it better. To where like,
Well, I'm also not saying one game is better than the other.
no, I understand.
I was just
am.
saying
I,
that
I
that-
do think
that that's
40K. I do
yeah.
think 40K is a superior game, but it's just in terms of
Could you see yourself playing 14
Uh,
games of 40K a week?
I
of
know.
competitive.
I think
They-
I
they
think we
take
have
s-
your answer.
They take so long and like.
Well, if you're playing 14 games a week, they're not all going
man.
to take 4
Well,
hours.
Sure,
right?
you're right, but like
I think the time limit, at least in our league, the time limit is pretty comparable.
yeah, I just
Maybe on average, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
but
think
if I'm playing a 3-hour game of Blood Bowl, I'm not happy about it.
14 games
kind
of
of
Blood
agree
Bowl
with
in
you
a
on
week.
that.
Like that's a tall order.
That's a lot, man.
That's a really tall order.
I'll say our average game around here runs about 3 hours. I think our normal game around here plays about.
If
2
we
hours.
take everybody into account, it might be 4 hours.
yeah,
Like, because there are games where you're like, you guys are still playing.
yeah. So like, I don't think I honestly I
Tony,
think
I got to send
I
you
think they're
a...
I think the differences in time between the two games. I think I think it's negligible.
I
think they're pretty comparable.
I think if you're committed to 40K, to where you understand the rules of the game, you know your list, you know your army, then I 100% agree.
Yeah,
But like, if you're someone that plays a game once every 4 months, like
Sure.
I was for a while, like
Sure.
I was really struggling because things changed a
Well,
lot.
sure, but
and
you could
stuff.
say but you could say the same thing about Blood Bowl.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, but that's all I'm saying.
Tony,
is
can
that
you see
Yeah.
if you can open that up? That link
All I'm
up?
saying is they're comparable.
I
I don't
just
think
sent
one
myself
takes
on
longer than the
Facebook.
other. Really, I like on average. I'm pretty sure it's the same. Because you can play a game of we were in our tournament games. Like games like the game ends in 2.5
And then you
hours.
can run that
That's the
behind
max
us?
amount of time.
Yeah.
We've
Behind-
had
oh, yeah.
multiple
Can you show me a preview?
playoff games that go well beyond
Yeah.
that. So like, not to mention, there's too much tying in Blood Bowl too. That's another thing I can't stand. Like,
Funny because we're coming from like the 40K side. And
Yeah.
we're coming from the Blood Bowl side.
yeah, like, and then you play another half, which could be another 45 minutes of game time. And then if you're still tied, it goes to a roll off. You don't have that issue in 40K either. Like the scoring, as flawed as the scoring system is in 40K and 9th edition, it's still better than Blood
Listen,
Bowl.
man, there's a lot. Okay, yeah, that's exactly.
it's
right.
Again, I'm not
When
arguing.
we
one's
go
better
to
than
it,
I
we're not
understand.
ready yet,
I understand. I'm just saying, like,
That's not live.
and then you'll be able to kind of flip. Okay, yeah, that because you're just showing them the screen that it's going to be okay.
Yeah. They still see what's on.
Yeah, they're on. Yeah, we're on the right screen. That's fine. So we're not going to that just yet, guys.
No.
But that's when we make that transition. I didn't want to break up your guys. You guys were having a good conversation.
that's okay.
there.
Yeah. Just comparing the two games. That's
I mean, they're vastly different, and I like that. I like them both. Like I'd like them both to have. I will say I have so much more pain attached to Blood Bowl. So much more pain. I don't know if.
yeah.
I don't know if it's because I have an inflated opinion. Like I feel like I'm a better Blood Bowl player than 40K player. You know what I mean? And maybe that's.
I think it's just because of practice, though. Honestly, I think it's because you play more games of Blood Bowl. I think if you.
I mean that could be,
I
and that
think-
could come into what Eli was saying, that it's just quicker. It's just a more accessible game.
It's more accessible, meaning that you don't it's faster to get started and you need less models to play. That is definitely true. I think that's where 40K. I would like to see 40K scaled down to a much smaller game. I would like that just because it would make the game go a little bit faster. But I think when you, like I said, so Jakey and Eli's game took 3 hours. My game against Adam took 3 hours.
You also take
Like-
time and you sit and you think about these moments in these playoff games.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more on the line.
I
So
understand,
I
but-
can understand these being slower.
But it's no different than a tournament.
I mean,
Eli,
And,
you're right. It is
and the
apples.
time cuts out
right,
there.
right.
at
But
2:30.
when you literally have a clock, you make choices faster.
It is
You
apples and
just-
oranges,
you just
but
do
like
that.
they're both fruit,
Sure.
right? Like we're still comparing. Like they can be compared. They are different. But
they're both
fruit.
model. They're both model-based tabletop games. Like they're both within the same category, like the exact same category. Like it's Blood Bowl is basically a tabletop mini war game.
Well,
Like,
it is. It's a skirmish game.
It is.
It's
Like,
a skirmish board
skirmish
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
So like, but so is 40K, and so they are the same
Okay,
thing.
so but if Blood Bowl had phases and stratagems, it'd be a slower game, right? Like if you could do things like.
You had the throwing phase.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have
movement
literally
phase,
like you can
absolutely.
you can blitz with one player.
The blitzing
you can
phase.
pass with one player. Like that
Yeah.
speeds it up. If you could pass twice, that's going to double the amount of time people spend trying to set up a pass play.
Yeah.
Also, I think if passing got better, the game would improve. I really believe that.
Yeah,
I think it would be better.
It would also cut down on overtime in the playoffs. Because you're going to have somebody pull off a play. The play you beat me with after you wizarded me only happened because of passing.
Because of how passing
It'd be
works,
so
yeah.
much harder to do in today's game.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I did the same thing. I did do that against Adam in our game. So
Took it coast to coast.
I didn't take a coast to coast.
You weren't
I guess.
100% coast to coast.
No,
against me, but-
I took it. It was a 4-up pass against Adam, but like,
Well, that's what it would have been nowadays.
yeah, exactly. So like,
Because you
that's,
were able to move far enough.
yeah. So I maxed out my movement to make that a 4-up pass and then toss it, and it's. I mean, not being
I
able to do
also
that with
like
everyone,
with
I think,
Blood
is a
Bowl.
good thing. But
I would like the game to be more 3-2 victories instead of 2-1 victories.
Yeah, I've toyed around
Yeah,
in my head before with how do you incentivize scoring in the game.
Right now, it's not. Right.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
it's
stalling
not.
is the
But, like-
is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's the
not even traditional stalling, like strategic stall. I don't need to push full up. You know, I want to score on turn 8. I don't want to score on turn 6. Right.
The only thing I could come up with would be the amount of points you get per touchdown based on turn number.
I thought about that too.
So the
So would you say that again?
The amount of points you get when you score based on what turn it is. So the earlier in the game you score, the more points you get.
I think that's the only way you can do it. But then you lose. That makes coming back even harder because you're scoring. You're by nature scoring
absolutely.
later.
The game's over a lot
then
faster.
it like
but
mega incentivizes really fast teams.
Yeah, that
'Cause,
helps
it makes-
Skaven and
it
Elves
makes-
a
yeah,
lot.
like say
speed way
Skaven are
better.
playing against dwarves. Skaven just run up, they score in 2 turns. Now they get 2 points instead of 1.
I would cut it
now
into thirds.
and now
I
you're
guess you
like
could do
the dwarves running to score as fast as they can.
It's about
is
4
still
turns.
4 turns.
Yeah, it's about 4 turns.
And that's even that.
That's
like,
moving.
Yeah.
That's moving.
Yeah,
Right?
you gotta do a lot, and that's if your opponent isn't like throwing themselves at you to make you to
Or
stop you.
kicking the ball super deep too. Like if that ball lands on that end zone, it might very well could take you 3 turns.
The
across
core.
that
John
line of
says the
scrimmage.
rock. So like I said, like you're not always like when people think stalling, they think like you build a wall at the end of the pitch and bash for 3 turns and then score.
Yeah.
Like that's not all stalling.
No, not at
Some
all.
stalling is like, okay, I don't need to go past midfield. Now I'm a couple squares.
Yeah,
past.
but
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like-
he's saying throw a rock, like
right. But when you
rock.
enforce that, right? Because if I'm just moving up the field slowly, is that stalling?
just at any point in time that you can score without rolling dice.
Well, right. But if you don't put yourself in that position,
Right,
and
sure.
because GW's that is GW's
But if-
Definition.
definition of it.
yeah,
currently.
but also if you're not in that position, then there's always a chance you don't score.
Sure. I mean, yeah, theoretically, right? Like
Yeah.
you could.
That's a good point.
I thought about incentivizing with like granting a team a reroll if you score before a certain turn number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gain yourself a reroll.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good enough.
it's probably not good enough, but like it could be something.
I don't know. I don't.
I just don't know if
Especially
the core
if
of the
you're in a
game.
Potential overtime situation.
Yeah, I don't know if that first like a playoff game, sure, right? Like
Yeah, I think they just need to adjust. It boils down to how many points you get. That's what it needs, because right now it's just a 1-to-1, and there's just not enough scoring in the game. There's not enough moving around in the game. I don't know, in order to make scoring more often, because that's the other thing that has to happen. Scoring has to happen more often. So I don't know.
that is strange. How do you? Because like you're already getting a touchdown. Like how do you further? I mean, Jakey is just like I'm going to score as many times as I can.
That's
right?
been his
like I want as
philosophy.
as much SPP as I can get.
Yeah, and I think during the regular season, I think that's the right call. I don't think you stall during the regular
Yeah,
season.
but then
unless
when
it's
you
a
come
really
playoffs,
important game.
I think you just got to keep playing your game, right? Like because if he's going to
Yeah.
drastically alter the way he plays, it's going to hurt him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't think. Well, I guess I don't know.
I think opening passing would help. Like
Yeah, that only helps a few teams though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
not if it
passing-
was equitable.
Passing is hurt too much. Like,
There's too many negatives to passing.
yeah, like I think if more things just passed on a 3, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
that's a good point between like I
think
need to
that'd
make
be-
this happen, because a 4+, like I'll look at that and I'll
You're not
say,
going to take that unless you have
when
to,
I'm
right?
desperate.
Right. I
Like,
agree.
I'll take a 4+ dodge to get a hit on the ball. Like
what I
that's
did
something I'll
today, yeah.
consider.
Mm-hmm.
But like
I did that.
but a 4+ pass where I'm more than where I have 50-50 shot of taking the ball and just getting it out of my possession.
And then causing a turnover on top of it
Yeah,
too. I
that's-
think that's the biggest issue. But yeah, I think there needs to be. I think it needs to be more 3-up passing, and I think they might just want to take every thrower and make them pass on a 2-up as well.
Honestly, I don't really know why more of them don't.
It is kinda weird.
I can understand the orc thrower, sure.
Yeah.
But like,
But
why
he also
does,
has animosity, so like, why does he need both?
animosity just doesn't belong in that team at all.
Yeah.
It's just an extra role. It's just
don't.
annoying.
Animosity probably doesn't need to belong in the game.
It's not.
It
it's
exists
not,
for like 2 teams.
So while yes, it adds some like flavor, like a note of flavor.
Right.
It's not in a good way, and it's not fun. I'm not ever like, yes, I get to roll my animosity.
No, I agree.
That
I agree.
sucks.
Well, yeah, no, it's you just
And it
wanna,
doesn't counterbalance like a big guy like a Negatrait does.
Yeah.
Those counterbalance to you have Bonehead to offset your Kroxigor that's gonna wreck, right?
Exactly. Like that's why those exist. It's a balancing mechanic, but you don't
Whereas
need
animosity, like
you
man,
don't
this
need
blitzer
animosity.
won't. I'm gonna lose this game because my blitzer wouldn't hand the ball off.
Yeah, it's a
And I guarantee it's happened
it's
a lot.
It's a bad balancing mechanic. Like
I've seen it happen in Blood Bowl 3. Like you got to blow your reroll on rerolling your animosity, and then you roll a.
I never had that.
And then
happen
you roll a 2 on the handoff.
But yeah, I should probably check that out again. I heard they patched it a lot.
There have been a lot of fixes. It's on the way.
I'm playing it right now. I'm not.
No, he's not. He's watching us.
I will get it. I'm just gonna wait.
I would wait a
I
year.
think that if it was released right now, rather than it was
Now hear
a
me
few
out.
weeks ago.
What if it was in the shape that it's in now, but 2 years ago?
I get that, but
What
like,
have they done for
but
2 years?
I can't sit and judge them for that. I don't know the first thing I'm making a video game. Like
I don't either. But
I'm not gonna sit here and throw stones because I don't.
Yeah, but is
I
it
don't
like-
know.
that's a perfectly fair stance to take, but at the same time, right? Like
well,
there are like
I'll
COVID had a vaccine in a year. That's a little bit more high stakes than Blood Bowl.
I'm not gonna go into
into
that. Well,
I'm just conceptually, right?
they got a
Like,
lot of funding for that.
I'm
vaccine,
gonna
too.
say that I'm willing to bet that I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
But I'll tell you where the main issue was with that. It was reconstructing the engine from the ground up.
Yeah,
That's what took them so
Did
long.
they have to do it?
I don't know who did it, but that's what
I
took
thought they
them
were
so
using
long.
Unreal.
Yeah, but they had to build this
They had to
game
tweak
in
it.
the Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
which
where
they had never done before.
Yeah, where they literally just could have used the bones from the last game, changed the rules, added new teams, and then it's done. Right? You could have changed very little. Give us some new voice lines. You can change the modeling. That's cool too, but you don't have to change it so much to. Changing the modeling, from my understanding, is a pretty simple thing, right?
You mean like the
What the guys look like?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like that's a minor thing that doesn't interact with the mechanics of the game for the most part. Obviously, you kind of want to make it if you're making hands bigger, you still got to make the ball look like it's in his hands. But other than that, like it's not that bad. So, that's what they should have done. It would have been out on time. And in better shape too, because the other thing, if you did that, you reuse the data for your AI too. For the most part, you're gonna have new teams. So
Genuinely, if the
it'll
game
change.
looked 100% identical to Blood Bowl 2, no one would complain.
No, I know.
It
No one
does
would
look
complain.
much better though.
It looks a lot
It is
better.
a big
Sure,
improvement.
it is, but like no one cared.
Yeah.
Blood Bowl 2 looked great. I just wanted 2020 rules. That's it.
Yeah, that's all anybody wanted. 2020 rules,
Well,
new teams,
I'll be honest.
quarantine, stuff
That's
like that.
not what I wanted.
Really?
I think 2016 was better. I think it was a better game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree with you.
I think you and I are in the minority for sure.
I think so, too.
Whether it was a better game or not, I just want it to be current with what the actual game
I mean,
is.
I agree with that too, but like I don't want to play Blood Bowl the video game and have it be.
Well, now it's
stark
only a
difference
matter of
from Blood
time.
Bowl the tabletop.
Before the next edition comes. So 24 will be out next year, right?
Yeah.
And
Now, yeah, sure. You look at GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6, but like, I'm sorry, with how long those will be. Got it.
Yeah, but those are also huge franchises,
which I
with
was just
way
about
more
to say.
moving parts.
And
but
this-
also, you can GTA 5 is literally a meme at this point.
It's like
It's been a meme for years.
out. Yeah,
It came
but-
out in the 360.
there's like
360 no, the
nine.
one,
There's like
excuse me.
9 dudes working on Blood Bowl 3. So like,
That
they're
too.
they're not a a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah, that's
Elder
true.
Scrolls 6 is way too long in the tooth. Also, that's ridiculous to take them this long.
Yeah, well, but I think a lot of that is because they've put a lot of time and effort into Elder Scrolls Online, and since we're not playing that, it feels like a lot longer for us.
Yeah,
I played online for a little while.
it wasn't good, right?
It's okay. It's okay for an MMO.
And then they keep doing like
But it's
Fallout
an
stuff,
MMO.
and then there's
Shouldn't make it better.
Starfield
Starfield.
coming. which I'm actually pretty excited.
Supposed to be out next month.
Next month?
That's
It's not
what I
going to
heard.
be out next month.
Probably,
But,
not. But that's what I originally heard.
Elder Scrolls 6 is
Surf
not expected
swap.
to release before 2026.
Elder Scrolls 6?
Yep.
26?
Yep.
Yeah. So you got another
Oh,
3
that's a-
years, bud.
Dude, if they do it right, I'm fine with that.
But hang on. Skyrim
Genuinely.
came out in 2011.
Oh, okay. That hurts a little.
2011
okay.
to 2026.
Okay, but they didn't. So 15 years.
You know what you can do in 15 years? Raise a child.
So 15 years. 15 years it took them to do that. Now, they weren't working on it for 15 years.
No, they weren't.
Because for 14 of those years,
They were reselling
re-releasing
Skyrim?
Well, don't forget, Fallout 4 came out. Bethesda's
It didn't
come-
have to. Didn't
No,
have
that's
to.
fair, but Bethesda's come out with a lot of
They have.
games
They have.
in between Skyrim.
But who
and-
butters the
Yeah,
bread?
they
Who butters
have-
the bread? It's that's Skyrim flavored bread, man.
I remember
Maybe.
Todd Howard
Maybe.
was like, "Hey, if you want us
Skyrim-
to stop re-releasing Skyrim, you need to stop buying it."
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. How
bought
much?
it once.
How much was Skyrim?
Yeah, me too.
When it came out, it was $60. I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
How much was Doom?
Doom?
Doom. Yeah.
Like,
Like
The
the one.
original
No,
Doom?
no, like the one Bethesda made.
holy crap, Artie!
It was.
Artie is watching the show.
Gives me a chuckle.
Unbelievable.
It's so funny.
Artie, I've got a lot
I
of
like that.
opinions, man. I was so hyped for Skyrim.
Yeah,
And
but
Artie, okay, you're the first time chat that is upsetting, Artie.
so here's.
I've known you since you were in the sack.
Would you make this sacrifice? Would you pay $120 for Elder Scrolls 6 if it came out in half the time?
Is it complete?
Yeah, we'll say it's complete.
Then yes.
We will say
You're
it's-
talking the wrong guy, man.
We will- hold on.
I'll pay for my hobby. That
We will say it's in the same quality it will be when it releases in 20.
tells me first time chat. Say that again.
I said I will say it'll be in the exact same quality it's going to be in 2026.
That's a different bargain, right? Because like
Sure.
if it comes out in the shape that some of these games are coming out
Sure. I understand that. My point being is
every week at 9, Artie. Every Tuesday at 9.
my point being
Love to
is
have you, buddy.
They come out with Doom and Doom Eternal. It takes them less time and less resources to come up with both those games, and those games are already more profitable than Skyrim.
Doom
Or
is
not
more
Skyrim,
profitable
but
than
not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls 6.
Wait, hang on. Do you understand what he's saying?
He's saying that Elder Scrolls 6 hasn't come out yet and therefore has not made them any money, whereas
Right.
this game has come out and
Are
has
they
made them money.
making Doom?
Yeah, they made Doom and Doom Eternal, both fantastic games.
I didn't know Bethesda made those.
Yeah, both fantastic games.
They're-
worth a playthrough. They're super good. They're like
There you go.
Damn it! What was the name of that?
Is it annual? Looks like it's annual.
I would pay $120 for a complete game.
okay.
Especially
Now,
if it's
that,
going
to
be.
me, that means like it has the DLC kind of in it. Like
Well, I mean,
the game's complete.
That's
right?
that's not necessarily what I'm saying though. I'm saying it's the same game you're gonna get.
You get the game that you would get in 2026
right
in-
now. That's
in
all
right-
I'm saying.
in
Okay,
right
now
now, you
for the
said half the
bargain, is there
time.
another
I
game?
did say half the time, so,
So
it would have been out.
2020.
It would have been out.
Is there
already,
another
assuming.
game coming out? Yeah, it would have been out in
2018 when they announced
Yeah,
it.
2018. So you would have already had it for 5 years.
I'd be done playing it by now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Would you pay $120 for a game you're already done playing?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm
Well, I'm
asking.
not paying
you, and-
120
People have done
today
with Skyrim.
dollars.
So I mean, that's fair. You're also playing 120.
People
But
have-
that's kind of my point. Is they spent all this time. They spent a lot of time doing it. It's costing them a lot of money to make it. But in the meantime, they're releasing these games that they're charging essentially the same.
Sure,
price
but okay.
for.
So like you
6 will
remember
be $70.
when Red Dead 2 was like in the final stages, and they were. Is that a Polish company?
Rockstar?
Is that they're are they from in
Rockstar?
Poland?
No, they're U.S.
Are you sure?
You think anyone but the U.S. would make a game like Grand
Yeah,
Theft
the
Auto?
only you're thinking of CD Projekt Red. They're Polish.
Okay, so where's Rockstar? I want to say
it's
they're
in
like.
the States.
I don't know if they are.
Where's Rockstar Studios?
I'm almost positive
Wait,
they're
New
European.
New York.
We have a producer for that.
New York.
Like
City.
the state up.
New York. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, well then that makes a lot of sense. Remember like the weeping and gnashing of teeth, like, oh my god, I've got to work overtime. I've been mandated for overtime.
Yeah, that
And you're
crap
like-
was happening
you're-
to me when I was at.
You're like, okay, get to it, bud. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Meanwhile, you got guys like in sweltering sun, like building bridges and stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Their overtime's a little. I mean, I get it, right? But the whole point was like, then that game came out and
It was
pretty perfect.
It was.
Wasn't
It was probably the best game that released that year. It's probably top 5.
Is it the best one? Yeah. Is it the best in the last 5 years?
It's probably top 5 overall for me. Period.
Like,
end of story.
Games ever.
Yeah.
It
Wait,
was
Red
super,
Dead 2 was a
which
lot of
one?
fun.
Red Dead 2.
It was super buggy.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was good. I
The
wouldn't
story.
put it
The
bad.
story is in
It
terms
wasn't
of
perfect. Right?
well, in terms of
Like,
storytelling, it's probably the best story we've gotten out of a video game ever.
I
Red Dead
probably should play it, but I know
It's a
there
good
were.
game.
I know I saw there were like lots of videos.
The emotional,
of
all the
how-
emotional points hit. There's none of this like it's all very nuanced. It's so good. Like you just got to play like Arthur like getting sick from beating that man, and then he comes along and he actually finds the wife and the son, and the wife's a prostitute now, and the son's
Hell
getting
yeah.
bullied. And like it's just so good.
I
Like
don't
you
know.
see this whole time. The only weird part in the game is probably Tahiti or wherever they were at. I
The
think it was supposed
first
to be.
Last of Us is amazing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a little bit of a misnomer, right?
It's not bad, but it's overplayed.
Maybe.
It's
I
like,
mean,
you don't-
that doesn't detract from how
The
good
show
of an
was garbage,
experience it is,
so-
though.
A little bit, but you have that's hilarious.
I
didn't
hate
run
to
it.
pull a Dakota here, but that never happened to me. That stuff really never did.
Yeah,
I never experienced any bugs when I played it.
me neither. Dude
See you
just
later.
disappeared.
Now that's Skyrim type stuff.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I've seen that stuff in like GTA before too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. A lot of
God,
the stuff
that
is
was a
just
good
common.
game. I need to go finish it.
You didn't finish it. It's so good. And the ending. So like that's the other thing too. After Arthur dies, you play through this whole sequence as John Marston too.
Red
After
Dead is
he's-
one big country song, Artie says.
Back when country music was good though.
That
But yeah, it's a fantastic game with a fantastic. The gameplay's fun. The narrative's great. There's loads to do. Like it's so good.
It started feeling repetitive for me,
the-
so I never finished it.
The last of in what way though was it repetitive?
I mean, I never felt like the combat system was all that good. Like it was okay.
if you're looking for like deep,
So like
Christ, that's fantastic.
if you're looking for like a really good shooter, Red Dead's not it.
well, right, but I mean like
Yeah, it's
I
it's-
also I just felt like combat was a little clunky.
I mean,
I
it's-
don't
that's fair.
don't use the auto aim
that's
stuff.
I mean that might be
nonsense.
part of your problem, but
Maybe.
it's
Well, that's not the kind of game you're looking for.
Yeah.
For me,
Right,
like I
well-
just want to play the game.
it's identical to Grand Theft Auto. Though.
Yeah, but I don't. Grand Theft Auto feels smoother, and I mean the Western
bullet time was a
aesthetic
bit of a
doesn't
problem.
really do it for me.
I loved it, man.
The Western.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Like-
fine if you don't like the
and
the
it's not
setting
that it's
narrative.
not that I don't like Western. It's just like I've
Sounds
never
like you don't like
gravitated to it.
westerns.
Yeah, that's fine too. So, but that, like I said, in terms of that doesn't have anything to do with the overall quality of the game, though, right? The overall quality of the story.
Right, but I mean I was never like I was never like captivated by the story either.
Artie, every Assassin's Creed
I
game is
didn't beat it,
fantastic.
so,
okay,
like,
they're all
That is
perfect.
not true.
All right, Tony, let's jump to this. We're
First
running out
Assassin's
of
Creed was
time.
really good.
Yeah, first couple.
We're running out
That
of
one and the
time.
one with
But,
Ezio. But yeah, no, it's super great game.
man, that's a long video, Tony. Let me tell you,
there's a lot of bugs.
that stuff.
I should play the game though.
I did not experience that kind of stuff.
Eli,
Go ahead and share this in the background. We're going to talk about
Far and away better than Red Dead.
Brad. So Brad's got a hankering for more Blood Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
So we like to make sure that Brad is always satisfied in every way possible.
Understand.
Many of us go out of our ways to satisfy Brad.
I don't like this.
What are you talking about, sir? You said
Don't
you weren't
act
going
like
to tell
you don't
anybody.
It's all of our secret. Okay, so
Stop.
we had a pretty spirited discussion after the podcast last week about how to make things more fair for new teams in the 2-Up Cup, because redraft teams kind of rule the roost. Listen, man, I love the Blitz League. When you guys brought that up, I love that idea. What are you doing to me?
Nothing. Just keep talking.
That's weird. You poked me. Okay, so what we decided was kind of the best thing we could do is to provide a chance to not bring a fresh team into the 2-Up Cup. Okay, not that it's not allowed, but we're going to do this very short-run Blitz League starting later this month. I might have it scheduled for just a few days from now, but I'd have to change it. It's going to be a short 6-week league without the typical restrictions of having to play week by week. So you're going to have your 6 games and play them. You know what I mean? Play them, get them knocked out best you can.
MVPs?
Yeah, so they'll be like normal games.
So it's a normal.
Okay, so any of this is subject to change as we talk about it, right? So what's the problem?
Was I the only one who just saw what was on the screen?
No, okay. I thought you were
It
making
didn't
a
go
face about
live.
That's good.
So that'll be 6 games, and they will not be random pairings. So, like, I'm going to pair people based on their skill level, right? So this is specifically meant for new teams / new players, right? It's all brand new teams, no redraft in this league. But the goal is to have it be casual and like a team build-up league kind of in one. There's no playoffs.
Semi-pro.
What's that?
Semi-pro.
Kind of. So, like, I keep thinking I'm going to play Black Orcs, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just going to play and hang out and roll some dice or whatever. Go ahead, next one, Tony. So that's coming up. That's going to be before the 2-Up Cup, which isn't this awesome? I love this graphic. It's so good.
Where'd you get this?
I made it.
You made it.
Chat AI.
That sounds like your phone. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
That was an alien.
That was loud.
That was an alien. I don't know why I
Probably
did
a
that.
text message.
I might be getting a text message. So, yeah, 2-Up Cup, that starts at the end of April. So, in a normal year, when the leagues are spaced out, like 2024, I've got it planned out a lot better, right? So, like, the Premier League has gone way too long.
Yes.
It should have been over a month ago. Maybe a month and a half
Yeah, I
ago.
was about to say it should have been over
Right.
with the Super Bowl.
It should have been over some time ago. So, 2-Up Cup starts in April, goes through to the end of June. Okay? Then we're going to have a break. Go ahead and Tony. 2-Up Cup, obviously you guys know that's the redraft. Sometime in the summer, we're going to have the Sammy Open Championship. Okay? What that is, that's going to be 16 teams divided into groups. Okay, this is like it's a redraft. It's a open, okay? So like you can bring a brand new team. I wouldn't suggest that. You can bring any team value team that you have currently. Okay? So if it's 26 or 2020 rules, they can participate in the Sammy Open. Okay? It can be 4 groups of 4. You play the teams in your group. The top 2 teams from each group go to a bracket. The bottom 2 go to another bracket. Everybody will get 6 games in this league. Okay, so it's more of like a tournament than a league, but like you will level up and if you want to bring that, if you want to bring that 2-Up Cup championship team, you can port it right over. Okay, groups will be assigned based on team value. Okay, so like the top 4 team values will be together. Next 4 will be together, right?
I see.
And then the tournament
good
will be
idea.
seeded after that. So could get wonky. I mean, you could have some very high team value because it's like an eternal format, right?
Yeah.
So there's not like a redraft cap. If you got a 1,600 team value team, you can bring them right over.
How
Now-
many weeks? How many weeks is that?
It's going to be six games. It'll be 3 group games and then 3 bracket games.
Okay.
So the bracket, when you lose in the bracket, you go to the what I call it, the
Pile of shame.
no, it's like the slush fund or something like that. What the scrum. So if you don't make the bracket, you go to the scrum. The scrum just keeps playing, right? So it's so they can still get 6 games with those teams.
I see.
You know what I mean? Because if you go 0-3 in the group stage, you still make the scrum. That makes sense. It's what's called a 2-stage tournament.
Okay.
You guys follow me? So that'll
I
be
think so.
that'll be a short summer thing. Then that'll be over, and then I did see what you sent, John. I just don't know what it was
So you
yet.
have the Sammy champion and then the Scrampion?
Yeah, I mean, there could be a Scrampion. I like that. So we got that little Sammy bust that Garrett printed. I'm going to put that on a stand. I don't know why I don't have it back here, but yeah, so that'll be in honor. Since the Sammy Open never worked, this gives us a chance to still honor the greatest four-legged beast that ever roamed the store. And the last one, Tony.
Thank you for specifying the store.
And then finally, in the fall, we will have the next Premier League. I believe that starts the first part of October, and that will go through December. So that league should be over before Christmas. Okay, the championship game
That's a good
might
idea.
spill over after
like that.
Christmas, but playoffs start December 4th for that league.
I like that.
Okay,
Good.
so from
Christmas
now
time always
on,
makes things rough.
we'll have 2 leagues, and then we'll have those 2 smaller events
Okay.
to kind of fit together, right? So like Premier League will always be fresh teams. That will always be a fresh million team value
Okay.
playthroughs, like we're finishing now. Two-Up Cup will always be open season. We don't know what that's going to look like. Sammy Open will be a chance to bring in those teams however you see fit. And the Blitz League will hopefully just be like a small, casual, 6 games, rapid fire, play people on your level type thing. Any questions or comments or ads from members of the council?
Nah,
No?
What do you think of the graphics? I like them.
they're pretty good. I want to win something different with the 2-Up Cup. It looks
I love it, man.
That's great.
I love it. I love it.
I would
I like the- I like the-
Photoshop your face over the dude.
Well, I don't have the photo. It literally is like a template, and I just kind of fill it
Yeah.
in. It's
No, I think it's perfect.
I like the graphic. I just don't like the.
I
I don't
still.
like it's with the 2-Up Cup.
That's fair.
That's all.
That's fair. I change
Well,
them
I
every.
think
I
it's
change them
like,
every
it's
season.
like the 1-up thing though, but it's 2-up kind of thing.
You mean like an extra life in a video game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of the. We need to enforce schedules.
Then
What do you
it
mean,
needs to be
Eli?
2-up, not 2. Yeah.
In fierce.
What Eli? I'll let you finish that on the. That'll be like our last thing. What do you mean enforce? What schedules are you talking? Like,
Oh.
don't let people drop out. Don't let people.
No, I think it just means playing games on time. Like people need to play their games on time.
Yeah.
Traditionally, we've done pretty well with that. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened this league. Maybe it was from all the drops.
We had a lot of drops this season and enforced the time. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think we just had a lot of drops and moving players around. I think that's something we can talk about off the air too.
Sure.
About what to do about players when players drop. But
Well,
but yeah.
my opinion is always I really want to keep from assigning buys. I want like so also like leagues going forward are going to be 8 games.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we're going to have 2 8-game seasons and then we'll have the 2 6-game events.
Okay.
Right? So like
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think that will help. I think that we really need to talk about the play-in concept to the playoffs because every single time
It's
it's
top
been
8.
1 through 8.
Yeah, it's the top.
Okay. The reason I still like the play-in games is it does give more people a chance.
8. Yeah, to actually
It does
make-
give more people a
to make-
chance,
it's
and
like a
I'm
wild card playing. I get it.
ultimately I'm okay with that. So,
It all depends on time.
I agree. I think
All depends on time. That's it.
that 2-game shorter season, I think that'll benefit a lot
Mm-hmm.
to moving things along. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. Anything else? No audio. Oh, I'm on a different thing.
All that
No
stuff
audio. I was
you
like,
just
the
said.
end of the show, like that's a nightmare. All right, guys. All right, next week we'll be back. What do you? Oh, hang on, real quick, tinfoil. Real quick, we don't got to do the graphic or anything. 40K gets announced next week.
Yeah. Is Adepticon next week?
Adepticon is next week.
Is-
10th edition?
Yeah.
Yep.
I give it 5. It's not happening.
Not happening. How many you give it?
3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm right in the middle, 3. Like I can
3.
totally see them pushing it out just because there's other things going on.
But everyone knows.
It's March.
Man.
It's March.
Everyone knows.
I think they might.
Plus, they did it for 8th.
Is
and they've been
it
showing
possible they
graphics.
announce a starter set before they announce the actual new edition?
I think they would just do it together.
I'm just saying, is it
It's
possible?
100%. Anything's
I
possible.
would-
Anything's possible.
I would even say likely that
They'd
They
say
show
this,
the starter
that
set before they show the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, or at least they start eking us models. I don't know.
So what about
Actually, I don't think we'll see any model until they show us the entire box.
John says requirement have more than 3 days available to play. More importantly, when we do league nights and we have special or extra time for people to play, people need to take advantage of that. Because if they don't, I'm like, screw it, I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, ultimately, if you prioritize things, they get done.
One
so
tin hat.
yes, 110 hat. All right, guys. Dark Mechanicus we need for sure.
That's
Tell your grandma. Hopefully, we'll do a Adepticon stream next week. Tony and I for sure will be here at least. So, right? You said you could be here.
I should be here.
Yeah, I should be able
Brad
to.
should be here. And
Unless
then
I
that
don't.
week Dakota will be here.
Unless I got to work on Thursday, which is not likely.
All right, guys. Kiss your Dark Mechanicus. I love you and see you next week. Somebody find out if Tex is alive. I haven't seen him. I love him.
Oh.
Well, we will need to decide is a small hiccup, like by forcing a buy, like to not have a buy, is that preferable to like, or is playing the game preferable? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I was about to say when it comes to all the rescheduling and stuff, does it really matter?
Is that what
Like,
threw this
I
league?
don't-
off? It
I don't know.
It was one of the things that made it.
I
longer.
don't
Definitely.
remember missing a week.
Well,
I
you
missed-
and Eli were behind. You guys played real late.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys played in like week 1 or like week almost 12 out of 10.
Yeah.
we?
And it's always
I don't really know why.
it's always hard.
It had something. Oh wait, no, yeah, because it had something to do with Brent, whatever his name,
Brent, yeah.
dropping, and I was trying to schedule around him,
Yeah.
but
So
like I had to wait. I don't know.
it's always rough getting stuff done after Christmas too. We were a week late.
Yeah, fall.
We were supposed to play during Christmas.
December.
yeah.
We never did.
December is just a very hard month to do anything.
Well, it's rough. Yeah. It's
Not my phone, Tony.
It's especially rough for me.
I'm trying to figure out what
But yeah, it's
device this is.
no, it just. So I honestly I think just assign the buys, and I think just move on. You know, it sucks, but it's.
I'm worried about people getting 2 and 3 buys. That's my biggest. 1 I can live with, but I don't want multiple.
I wouldn't want people like if that many people are dropping, then we probably need to take another look.
You know, and then having
Well, the Tulip Cup scheduled when it is because
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah, because these playoffs haven't taken that long, and they've taken longer than normal.
I'm just talking about as someone like who does want to do other things.
I agree.
Part of the reason I play Blood Bowl is that's just because that's what other people play. And I would like to play. I would like to play some 40K. Like I fucking miss it.
I would like to play some 10th.
I fucking miss it, and I'm real excited about 10th edition. I'm really real excited if they reset everything. And
I'm hoping I can simp for 10th.
I think it'll be better.
I don't even know what Mike is running here.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Because you see the audio right there. I assume it's a camera. Does anyone?
I have no idea.
I didn't think that has always said mic/aux.
I know, but it's turned off over here. Or like every channel's turned down all the way. And
I did notice that the other day.
you can hit any mic as far as I know. You know.
Did
Wait. Is it you, Brad?
No.
Is it me? Hello?
It's
Hello.
It's in the room.
It's in the room.
You gotta be quiet.
quieter so something can't peek across the room.
Is it?
It's not. Yeah, it's not that far. It's not that big.
Did the audio input source get?
Tell you what, there's a really easy way to figure it out.
I look back at the screen. It's different.
What'd you
I
do?
was like, whoa,
Yeah,
did I do that? No.
Well, I mean, it's turned off. It's turned down all the way, so that should do the same thing.
Do you did you watch What Is a Woman?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It's really
There's no way it can be good.
Really? You don't think so?
Think about what's happening in it. Like, I'm not saying
Are you being serious?
not the documentary itself, like
Oh.
the fucking retardation that they're up against. It has become that dude's like entire personality, which
Matt Walsh.
It's his.
He's been pushed
definitely-
into it.
It's his fight. Yeah, it's his fight, which I'm all for.
Do you have a login for Daily Wire?
I do.
Can I get that from you
I'm sure.
so I don't have to pay them?
I'm sure I could find.
I could give
how much is a subscription?
like $10 a month.
I'm sure I can get the movie pretty quick.
It's
you know what?
I'm sure I can get the movie pretty quick.
it's
If I
fucking.
can take it.
It's worth a watch, man. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. There's a lot of even for me though, because I'm someone who follows that stuff pretty regularly, and there's some eye-opening stuff in there for me too. Like just
I'm running out of shit to listen to.
yeah, I mean that's
and on the road and like
that
fucking,
he's got a sort of, I don't want to call it trollery because he doesn't like
It's a little trolly. I don't have a problem with it.
he has a certain way that he goes about trolling people.
well he's completely calm during the whole thing, and he approaches people like people approach him, and all he does is ask him questions. That's all the entire documentary is him asking various people questions, and they can't answer. One person up on the street asks him they starts talking to him, just asking him questions, and the guy just looks at him and goes, "This was a genuine mistake. I shouldn't have walked up here," and just walks away. Like he goes and talks to a college fucking sociology professor.
Yeah.
The dude just embarrasses himself on camera. Goes and talks to congressmen and
I saw him on a podcast and he was like, dude, the best thing we did was just let these people talk.
yeah.
Because Tony, what the fuck is all that? Nope, now everything's off. Oh wait. are the table mics.
He posted in his story.